What's up? What's up? So bookstores have finally opened up around me again, which means I can go look for comic books. And why would I want to look for comic books? Because sometimes I find awesome stuff like this. Yeah. So I found a stack of old Disney comics for $2 for all of these. And awesomely enough, it's got some old Carl Barks stuff in it. If you're not familiar with Carl Barks, he was probably the preeminent Disney cartoonist, and his work is highly studied and modeled. Not all of this is his, and you can sort of see, look at some of these already. And just the difference between the cartooning in the characters in this one versus something that Barks actually did. You can see a different, it's just better, the figures and everything look better. It's not to say that the other people weren't good, it's just, sometimes there's people that are better. There's also these, which is Gladstone Comics, which was the publisher that put out Disney comics in the 80s and 90s. And this is Don Rosa, who is probably the successor, if you will, to Carl Barks. He's the one that took all of the mentions that Carl Barks did of Uncle Scrooge and made them into something called The Life and Times of Uncle Scrooge, which basically tells the story of Uncle Scrooge's early life. And so this is him. He took a lot of influence from Carl Barks. Pretty cool stuff. So there's a couple of those. But I like looking at these old Disney comics and looking at this cartooning and seeing how people used simple lines and expression to tell these stories, because nowadays, obviously, there's a lot of things that are highly rendered or have highly stylized, and this is simple cartooning, but yeah, it's not bad, it's good stuff. These clean line look. There's a reason why Disney comics are more successful in Europe, I think, is because the style is similar to the European style. I wish that comics like this had been more successful in the United States, just because we would have gotten to see more. But really, as the comic book industry died, so did the desire for comics like this for children to read, and simple things. When I say simple, I don't mean simplistic. I just mean easily understood. Look at this. That is a serious ad. Look at this. Man, Kinner must have put out some money for these ads. Just keeps going. Some Boy Scout ad too. Right? Kinner made Boy Scout toys. Look at this. It's taking up half the comic. It's crazy. Imagine doing that now, putting that much advertisement in a comic for kids. Well, that's something you don't see very often. Here's the Beagle Boys, who feature in usually duck stories, and Goofy. Captain Hook. So if you haven't looked at these old Disney comics, you definitely should. They're available from like Fantagraphics, and they're totally worth your time. Cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. So let's look at this. You can see just the expression on the faces and look at this action. It's pretty cool stuff, man. Pretty cool. But I was excited to find these. Been wanting to pick up some of these old Disney comics like this to look at them and see what I can glean from them. So let's see, how many did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 20 cents each for these. Not bad. I'm definitely trying to emulate, in some ways, these, in a lot of my work, this style, because definitely Carl Barks and Don Rosa influence on how I approach storytelling. So it's fun to have some of these single issues to look at. Alright, that's all. Later, I will be going through this stack, which was also $2, so we'll see if it's any good. We'll see what we get. It's a mystery pack, so tune in for that. Adios.